The Young and the Restless spoilers. See how Audra turns Holden's mom against Claire? The Young and the Restless. Y&R. Spoilers reveal that Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, may stir the pot when it comes to Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, and all the reconnecting he's been doing with Claire Newman, Haley Aaron. Audra obviously doesn't like the idea of Holden spending any more time with Claire than necessary since she's worried about their Los Angeles secrets. Of course, Audra also made a terrible impression when she met Dr. Stephanie Simmons, Vivica A. Fox, so there's been some tension between them. Claire, on the other hand, seems to have charmed Stephanie based on their first interaction in the April 23rd episode. Since Stephanie knows Holden took Claire exploring in LA, it's clear that he's been gushing to his mom about Claire off-screen. Stephanie also found out Claire learned the truth about her biological parents as an adult, so she's probably hoping Claire can relate to Holden and help him through his own paternity shocker. Naturally, Audra isn't going to like it if Stephanie approves of Claire Bear, especially after the way she's already treated Audra. This could lead to Audra telling Stephanie about Claire nearly killing most of the Newman family during a hostage crisis and landing in the psych ward in the aftermath. Audra might insist Claire was raised by her unhinged great-aunt, Jordan Colleen Zenk, and that she's still dangerous, as far as Audra's concerned. We could certainly imagine Audra trying to sabotage the bond that's growing between Claire and Holden again. Turning Mama Bear Stephanie against Claire would be a good way to do that. Y&R fans can tell that Stephanie is overprotective of Holden anyway, but Audra's alarming news could really send her protective side into overdrive. However, Audra's plan could backfire if Claire gets riled up and reignites her desire to find out what really happened in LA. Claire might make it her mission to make Audra truly pay this time, so stay tuned to see if their feud will soon be back in full force. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Audra will continue to cause problems in Genoa City regardless. The Young and the Restless spoilers tease that Audra Charles is about to unleash one of her most manipulative schemes, yet as she quietly works to turn Holden's mother against Claire Grace, setting the stage for emotional devastation, twisted misunderstandings, and a dangerous family divide that could spiral out of control. Genoa City has seen its share of masterminds, but Audra is proving once again that she doesn't need brute force to destroy someone's life. She only needs whispers, insecurities, and the perfect emotional pressure points. This time, her target is Claire, and the damage could spread far beyond a simple rivalry. Claire has already endured unimaginable trauma after Jordan's manipulation nearly destroyed her life, and just when she finally begins to feel safe within the Newman family, new threats emerge from unexpected places. Holden's growing obsession with Claire has already made Victoria and Cole uneasy, but now another layer of danger enters the picture through Holden's protective and deeply emotional mother. Spoilers reveal that Audra sees an opportunity to weaponize a mother's fears, using subtle manipulation to poison Holden's mom against Claire before anyone realizes what's happening. Audra understands people better than they understand themselves, and she quickly recognizes Holden's mother as vulnerable, emotional, and fiercely protective of her son. Rather than openly attacking Claire, Audra begins planting tiny seeds of doubt. She casually hints that Claire may not truly care about Holden, that she might be using him emotionally while secretly leaning on the powerful Newman family for protection and status. At first, Holden's mother dismisses these concerns, believing Claire is kind and misunderstood. But Audra is patient. She knows the best manipulation happens slowly. As the days pass, Audra continues carefully feeding Holden's mother selective information, twisted observations, and emotional half-truths. She points out every moment Claire appears distracted, every conversation that seems distant, and every sign that Holden may be more invested in the relationship than Claire is. Audra frames Claire as someone unstable, emotionally confused, and potentially dangerous to Holden's future happiness. What makes the scheme especially effective is that Audra mixes lies with just enough truth to sound believable. Claire's emotional struggles after Jordan's abuse become part of Audra's narrative, allowing her to paint Claire as unpredictable and emotionally harmful. Meanwhile, Holden's feelings for Claire intensify to unhealthy levels. He begins relying on her emotionally in ways that make even his mother uncomfortable. Instead of helping calm those fears, Audra fuels them. She subtly suggests that Claire's connection to the Newman family brings drama and danger wherever she goes. She reminds Holden's mother about Jordan, the chaos surrounding Victor Newman, and the constant emotional battles within Genoa City's most powerful families. Soon, Holden's mother starts wondering if Claire is bringing darkness into her son's life rather than love. Claire remains completely unaware of the manipulation happening behind her back. She notices Holden's mother becoming colder and more distant, but she assumes it's simply protectiveness or discomfort with their growing relationship. Claire tries to be kind, patient, and understanding, unaware that Audra is carefully sabotaging every interaction. When Claire opens up emotionally, Audra twists her vulnerability into evidence that she's unstable. When Claire pulls back slightly to focus on her family, Audra presents it as proof she's using Holden. Every move Claire makes becomes ammunition. Victoria begins sensing tension almost immediately. As a mother herself, she recognizes the signs of emotional manipulation and worries someone is intentionally driving a wedge between Claire and Holden's family. However, Victoria initially suspects Holden himself rather than Audra. This misdirection works perfectly in Audra's favor, allowing her to continue orchestrating the drama from the shadows while others focus on the wrong threat. Cole also becomes uneasy as he notices Holden's mother becoming openly defensive and suspicious around Claire. Conversations grow awkward, passive-aggressive remarks increase, and suddenly Claire feels judged everywhere she goes. The emotional toll on Claire becomes severe. After fighting so hard to rebuild her identity and trust people again, she begins questioning herself. Audra's manipulation indirectly triggers Claire's deepest insecurities, the fear that she will never truly belong anywhere and that her past trauma will always poison her future relationships. Fans will see heartbreaking moments as Claire struggles to understand why Holden's mother suddenly sees her as a threat instead of a positive influence. At the same time, Holden becomes increasingly torn between the two women in his life. His obsession with Claire blinds him to some of the manipulation, but his loyalty to his mother creates growing internal conflict. Holden desperately wants peace, but Audra quietly ensures misunderstandings continue escalating. The more Holden tries to fix things, the worse the situation becomes. His frustration builds, his emotions become unstable, and that instability may push him toward darker behavior. Spoilers hint Holden could eventually lash out emotionally, believing Claire is pulling away from him because of his family drama. Audra, meanwhile, watches the entire situation unfold like a chess match. She enjoys the control, the secrecy, and the ability to destroy relationships without getting her hands visibly dirty. Her motivations may go beyond simple cruelty. Some spoilers suggest Audra views Claire as a threat to her own influence within Genoa City's elite circles. Claire's growing bond with the Newmans gives her protection and importance, and Audra hates losing control over the social dynamics around her. By isolating Claire emotionally, Audra weakens her position while strengthening her own. Victor Newman eventually becomes aware that something is wrong when Claire withdraws emotionally and tension surrounding Holden escalates. Victor immediately suspects manipulation because he knows exactly how psychological games operate. Once he starts investigating, Audra may find herself playing a far more dangerous game than she anticipated. Victor does not tolerate emotional attacks against his family, especially not against someone as vulnerable as Claire. However, proving Audra's involvement won't be easy because she's carefully avoided direct confrontations or obvious sabotage. Nikki also becomes deeply concerned for Claire, recognizing signs of emotional exhaustion and insecurity. Nikki knows how cruel women like Audra can be and fears Claire may not be emotionally strong enough yet to withstand this level of manipulation. Sharon, too, may step in with support, understanding how emotional trauma can distort perception and create painful self-doubt. Together, the women around Claire may try to help her rebuild confidence before Audra's scheme completely destroys her emotionally. But the biggest explosion may still be coming. Spoilers tease that Holden's mother eventually confronts Claire directly, accusing her of emotionally damaging Holden and bringing chaos into their lives. The confrontation is expected to be emotional, humiliating, and heartbreaking. Claire may finally realize someone has been manipulating the situation, but by then significant damage may already be done. Holden himself could feel betrayed, confused, and emotionally cornered, potentially setting off a dangerous spiral that threatens everyone involved. As tensions rise, Audra's scheme becomes one of the most psychologically brutal storylines currently unfolding in Genoa City. Rather than relying on obvious villainy, she weaponizes fear, insecurity, motherhood, and emotional vulnerability to slowly poison relationships from within. Claire's battle becomes less about romance and more about survival, identity, and learning how to trust herself again after years of manipulation from toxic people. The Young and the Restless spoilers promise emotional confrontations, shocking betrayals, painful misunderstandings, and major fallout as Audra's manipulations spread through multiple families. Claire's future hangs in the balance. Holden's obsession grows more unstable, and Holden's mother may unknowingly become a pawn in a much darker game than she realizes. As the truth slowly inches toward exposure, one question looms over Genoa City. When Claire finally learns Audra orchestrated this emotional war against her, how far will she go to fight back?